present for you guys offensively?
I think they got great scheme and great players, and anytime you play against great scheme and great players, you really got to execute. You got to be locked in on the details, and just continue to stay focused throughout the entirety of the game.
As an opposing team, what is the challenge of going to Philadelphia to play a playoff game there?
Yeah, and obviously a hostile environment, great environment to play football at. But at the end of the day, it's 11 guys we're playing against on defense and executing on every play.
Christian, you're a vet. You've done this for a long time, but what goes into your process to kind of mentally get yourself ready for the playoffs each year?
I think just continuing to perfect the plays that are installed, get your body right so you're ready to go execute. As simple as that. I don't think you do anything differently than what you've been doing all year.
I think I was saying your specific process. Like, do you read? Do you things like that?
No, I just study the plays and get my body right. Yeah, that's my specific process. I got my routine I do in a day. As far as the physical part of it, and then routine mentally, and in week whatever we're at. I don't know what week it is now, but playoff time now. It's I kind of just stick to those routines, and that helps me get focused and ready each week.
Hey, Christian, all those touches this year, lead in touches. Are you tired? Does that wear you down? No?
I feel great, man.
Yeah?
Playing playoff football, with everything ahead of us, feel great, fired up.
Is that mentally or physically? I mean, you talk yourself into.
I feel great both ways. Yeah, ready to go.
Christian, you were hard on yourself after the last game. You always are very critical. Have you flushed it, moved on, and turned the page?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, done. Playoff time now.
And do you feel like the whole team has done that as well after the loss to Seattle?
Absolutely. Yeah, I hope so.
Do you feel like you're the best conditioned guy in this room, or
I
you're
haven't
sort
thought
of well
about
known
that. Yeah,
for that.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think about those things. I feel like my conditioning is important. Obviously, I play a stamina position as much as I move around and motion and run routes, all that stuff. So, got to be in great shape. But there's a lot of guys in great shape. I don't even know how you test that, but yeah, not sure.
You've been used less as a pass receiver towards the end of the season than early this season. Any reason for that, or is that just
I don't think I've been used less. I think maybe just a little bit less catches, and I think it really just depends on the defense you're playing and how you can exploit them. I think it's the season is a long season, and each week you have a lot of different challenges. So I still run a bunch of routes. I just think it's if the first read or the second read are open, Brock's going to hit him, and he does. I think he's the best in the business at seeing stuff early and ripping it.
It's been a couple seasons since you guys have played them, and a lot of different players on both teams. But do you draw anything off of the playoff game and then the regular season game the following year?
I think. Again, we have history with the team, but this is about executing. It's about controlling what you can control and going out there and playing extremely hard.
Are there less distractions going on the road than it would be playing at home?
Yeah, I think there's less distractions. You don't got to worry about as many tickets and all that stuff. You can just go to the hotel and lock in.
What kind of mindset do you have to block out the noise when everything else is going on? You just want to focus on the playoffs.
Well, I think once you get out to practice, you naturally block out the noise because you have so much to focus on during a week, and so again, just controlling what you can control, and that's full speed on every play. Being on your details and playing hard.
Do you take pride in the fact that you led the league 3 times in touches?
It's not. I wouldn't say I take pride in it. It's not something that before the year I'm like I want to lead the league in touches. I just, again, man, I think statistics they tell one story, not all the stories, and I think football's such a team game, man. It really is, and I focus on being the best player I can be for my teammates. It's not just touching the ball, but blocking, faking, whatever it is I got to do, and then whatever the stats say at the end of the year, that is what it is. But we want to win football games, and I love this group because we got a bunch of guys that don't care about numbers. They care about winning football games and doing whatever it takes to do that.
As someone who's a student of the game, or whatever term you want to use, is there anything that stands out to you about the matchup between Kyle and Vic from an X's and O's chess game perspective?
No, I mean, I think for me, it's when I watch their tape, again, like I said earlier, they have such a great defense, great play caller, great scheme, and they play well together. So, but I don't call the plays. I think Kyle's one of the best football minds ever, and so we trust him, and whatever he calls, we got to be ready to make it work.
I've just been working out, staying ready. Got the call from my agent a couple of days ago, and flew from Philly out here, and now I'm here. Whatever they need me to do, I'm willing to do.
From Philly to the Bay and then back to Philly, what's that like for you?
It was a lot of traveling. It was like 6.5 hours to get here. Flight kept getting delayed. Didn't really get too much sleep at all. But opportunity to play football, so definitely got to take advantage of it.
Coach Shanahan said that he wants to see what you look like out there today, but obviously an opportunity to play this weekend up against the Eagles, the former team on top of that. What's kind of going in your mind, trying to get prepared, trying to get the scheme and everything? How's that been for you?
I'm just trying to take it day by day, one meeting at a time, just being where my feet is at, not really letting nothing overwhelm me. I've been studying, getting into the playbook. It's pretty simple. I played in a similar scheme, so my number called, I'll be ready.
Physically, is the expectation that you could play Sunday?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, whatever they need me to do. I feel like I could play, but, if they don't feel like that, then that's cool too. But, I'm going to go out there and practice today, try to pick up on everything, and, hopefully I can help the team in whatever capacity I can.
I know sometimes it's overblown because film exists, but are you able to provide any sort of insight into Philadelphia for them?
And Philly? I mean, I ain't been there since 2022, but, I've just been watching from afar, Got a lot of, my guys over there who I like to watch. But from afar, I mean, they got a great offense. I don't feel like they've been playing up to par as of late, but, they got, top running back. I feel like Jalen Hurts is the top quarterback. I think A.J. Brown is maybe 2 top 5 receivers. You know what I mean? Dallas Goedert playing well, good old line. So I feel like it'll be a good battle.
Can you remember what your
turnaround
scouting report was of Brock going into that game and maybe
Brock Purdy?
Yeah, and how it's changed since then?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I feel like we're putting him in like that Mahomes category in terms of like just keeping plays alive. You know what I mean? I know, his draft status and everything like that can get overlooked, like, 7th rounder, but he's a heck of a player. I've got to play against him more, just being in the same division, playing for the Cardinals. He's a great player, man. I feel like he can do it all.
It's a quick turnaround. Anybody in here whose brain you're picking to kind of get a little bit more familiar with Robert Saleh's system?
I've just been picking the brain of Kyzir White. I came in early, met with him. You know what I mean? I had a little relationship with him before I got here, so trying to pick his brain. And obviously Kendrick's in the room. He a vet, so I'm definitely get next to him and see what I can pick up.
It's been about a month since you were in Tennessee's building. What have you done to keep your body ready?
I just been working out, man. Working out, running, trying to stay sharp as possible, and just staying ready.